All right, let's go from basketball. This is the strangest story I've seen in the National Hockey League. Vancouver fires its coach who got them into the playoffs when he was hired midseason last year. His name is Bruce Boudreau, former head coach around the league, 50-year lifer in hockey. Really neat gentleman. And bad situation, Vancouver. A lot of young guys, ill-fitting roster, salary cap problems in the NHL. They're not done. I think they're going to blow the roster up pretty quickly. But they let him hang out there. This story had gone on for a better part of a month. Does Bruce Boudreau keep his job? Are they going to hit the eject button? Who are they going to go get? What are they going to do with a roster where these guys are making enormous amounts of money and underachieving? They have a soon-to-be free agent, their leading scorer, Bo Horvat, that they don't think they can pay $10 million a year to keep him. Is he going to be traded? They got terrible injuries. Thatcher Demko, the San Diego kid, has not played in months because of a significant quad injury. Weirdest thing I've seen in hockey. Usually, when your team has gone into the dumper, the fans are brutal. And the fans in Vancouver are no different than Toronto or Montreal or these other NHL hotspots. They can be vicious. They supported Bruce Boudreau. They knew what was going on. They knew that things didn't fit. They knew there were salary cap problems that past management had made mistakes on. Well, Bruce Boudreau, prior to his last game on Tuesday, held a media briefing and was just bombarded by questions, got very emotional, said how he loved coaching players, loved being in the room, loved game night, enjoyed what he did with the Canucks last year when he came in midseason and drove them to the playoffs and all that. Anyhow, he was well received by the fans after that press briefing. So at the end of the game, they lost at home. He's coming off the ice. The fans, and Vancouver averages 17,000, 18,000 a game, gave him a standing ovation.
Nice.
They knew he was going to get fired. He knew he was going to get fired. Gave him a standing ovation. Next home game, they hired Rick Tocchet, longtime NHL player, has not done well as a head coach in Arizona or Tampa. Pre-game introductions, they go through the starting five, and please welcome Vancouver's new head coach, Rick Tocchet. Fan stands up by the bench, takes off his $150 Vancouver jersey, and throws it on the ice.
Nice.
to protest how they treated Boudreau and Tocchet. So time will tell. NHL trading deadline is coming up. A lot of criticism of a great veteran leader in Jim Rutherford, the president of the team, for why would you treat this guy this way? He inherited this mess, tried to fix it, did fix it last year, hasn't worked this year. But why'd you let him hang out there for so long? So that's a long story, but it's worth telling for the hockey fans on our live stream.
Well, I enjoy hearing the stories because admittedly, I'm not a hockey guy, being in California my whole life. But it is interesting to see how the fans just loved him. And, while we were, preparing for this podcast, I saw all these photos of people in the stands behind the bench, with signs up, just expressing their love for this man. And then, the owners come in, they got to find a scapegoat, and this guy's now out on the street. And now, the Canucks are getting 17,000 in the arena. I think they're going to have less people showing up because they're getting frustrated with the owner.
Now we'll see if Tocchet can fix it, but there has been dysfunction there in Vancouver. Let's